Hello, my name is Megan, and today I will be talking about my social engagement strategies for my small business called Magnificent Glass. If you own a small business today, then you know you have to hop onto trends on social media, you have to make sure you're on the right apps, you have to show your face to make sure that you're being more personable. And since my small business is an art-related business, I like to also show my process. Like here, I am cutting my glass. And then of course you want to show off your products and what you're going to have available in your shop. When working on social media, I have 4 things that establish my goals and my strategy while being on social media. Number 1 is I like to set goals that make sense for my business. Number 2, I like to take time to research my target audience and who is on my page. Number 3, I like to create and curate engaging social content. And number 4, I like to make my social presence as timely as possible, so figuring out the time of day that most of my viewers will be on my page. So point 1 is setting goals that make sense for my business. In this case, I use Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok mostly for my social media. And my main goals are focusing on growth, which allows an increase in brand awareness. The most important thing I have learned is making friends with other artists or people in the community and resharing their posts, and in return they will reshare yours. Community is a big thing on social media and it is the biggest thing I have learned. I constantly try to make a goal of making more friends each month and creating a bigger community. This will ultimately lead to more sales and just more people stumbling across my page. A personal example of how amazing this social media community can be is I have stumbled across this app called PopShop through some of my friends on social media, specifically Instagram. PopShop is a new app that acts like a social media, but it also works as a store where you can do live streams to sell your items. In this way, I have created a shop on not just my website, but also on this new platform, and I can live stream, show my face, people can learn more about me, and it's very personable. I've also found that this is a great way to increase sales. Next, I want to talk about the time I take to research my audience. Instagram has a lot of helpful tools, and I mostly use Instagram anyways for my business and to try to grow my business. Instagram has a lot of charts to show the amount of people that have interacted and stumbled across my page. As you can see, I have reached new accounts, but unfortunately recently the accounts that have been engaging with my content has decreased by about 12%. So I will want to take time to look into that, and one way I do that is looking at my reel views. Reels are one of the most helpful tools at the moment on Instagram. They help your content spread and get the word out. So as you can see, the one in the middle actually has quite a few views. So possibly that's because of the length or the sound I used compared to the one on the top left that doesn't even have 1,000 views. Next, I would like to talk about creating and what I like to call curating engaging social content. So one way to do that is creating the reels, like I mentioned before, but my favorite thing to do is actually to create ways for the viewers to interact. The most common way that I do this is by asking questions in my captions. A lot of people that follow me like to answer those questions because there could be a outcome from that question of like new things that I create. Another way I like to do that is taking polls in my stories. I do a lot of interactive things in my stories. I just like getting my followers' opinions, and they like seeing their opinions evolve and become fruition on my page. Lastly, I want to talk about making your social media presence and posts at the right time of the day. I have found that between the times of 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. are great because most people are up, they look at their phone before heading to work. I've also found that between the hours of 7 p.m. and 9 p.m., people are active again because it's before bed. Also, the biggest thing I take into consideration is the time difference between the East Coast and the West Coast. Since I live in Indiana, I go by Eastern time. However, a lot of my customers live in California. So I have to also take into consideration the time difference between Indiana and California. Because of that, I have found that most of my shop updates are most effective when they are in the evening. I typically now make them at about 9 o'clock Eastern time. That way it is 6 p.m. over in California. Every day I learn new things about what my social media strategy should be and how it should evolve. I've only been doing stained glass full-time since October, so I still have a long ways to go, but I've also learned a lot just in the short period of time that I've had my small business. These are the strategies I currently use, and I have found that they are mostly successful and really helpful.